بسم الله الرحمن الرحيم والصلاة والسلام على المبعوث رحمة الله على نبينا وحبيبنا محمد صلى الله عليه وعلى آله وصحبه وسلم. أما بعد، اليوم السابع من شهر جمادى الآخرة 1444 الموافق ل 31 2022 نواصل درسنا في هذا الكتاب المبارك بلوغ المرام. أسأل الله سبحانه وتعالى أن يبارك فينا وفيما نتعلمه، وأن يغفر لنا الزلات ويغفر للمؤلف ويرفع درجته في غيره. So today in Wahid Ahad we continue from where we stopped. If I'm not mistaken, last time we stopped at the hadith of Aisha radiallahu anha. قالت قلت يا رسول الله على النساء جهاد؟ قال نعم، جهاد لا قتال فيه هو الحج والعمرة. Aisha radiallahu anha said, I asked the Prophet sallallahu alayhi wa sallam, على النساء جهاد? I said, Ya Rasulullah, على النساء جهاد? Is there any jihad that is obligatory upon sisters? قال نعم. Yes, there is. She was asking because generally jihad is only obligatory upon the brothers, not the sisters. So she is asking, do they also have to participate in the jihad? And the Prophet ﷺ said, yes. عليهم جهاد لا قتال فيه. Now, jihad لا قتال فيه. They are also supposed to participate in the jihad, but there is no fighting in this jihad. Al-Hajj wal-Umrah. So that's Hajj wal-Umrah. This is for them, that this act of worship is looked at jihad as a jihad for them. So the Prophet ﷺ said they also have this obligation on their shoulder, which is to perform Hajj and Umrah, and it is counted for them as jihad. In some narration, عائشة رضي الله عنها سألت النبي صلى الله عليه وسلم في الجهاد فقال جهاد كل الحج. وفي لفظ له آخر سأله نساؤه فقال نعم الجهاد الحج. وأخرج النسائي عن أبي هريرة رضي الله عنه جهاد الكبير أو العاجز والبراء والضعيف الحج. So these are all narrations that are supporting the first one, where Aisha رضي الله عنها said she took permission from the Prophet ﷺ to go for the jihad, and the Prophet ﷺ said, your jihad is al-Hajj. In another place, it is mentioned that the wives of the Prophet ﷺ asked, and the Prophet ﷺ said, now, you also have to participate in jihad, but it is Hajj, yours is al-Hajj. Abu Hurairah mentioned in the hadith, which is collected by An-Nasa'i, the Prophet ﷺ said, Jihad al-Kabir and Ajiz, an old man, and also a woman, and also somebody who is sick or a weak person. His jihad is Hajj. دل بعض من الروايات على أنه لا يجب الجهاد على المرأة، وأن الثواب الذي يقوم مقام ثواب الجهاد للرجال حج المرأة وامرأتها. From this we learn that it is not wajib upon them to perform, to go for a jihad. And also from here we learn that the reward which the brothers will get by performing the jihad, sisters can easily get it when they go for Hajj and Umrah. That's why if the person keep himself in the way Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala kept him, will benefit a lot. And it is just easy life, but Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala is going to give her similar to the jihad of the brothers in terms of reward. ذلك لأن النساء مأمورة بالستر والسكون والجهاد من أجل ذلك. Because Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala recommended and commanded them to cover themselves and to be able as much as they can to make sure that they don't mix with the brothers. And jihad is totally opposite. Totally. Not just mixing the fight and ihtikam also with the brothers. والجهاد ينافي إن فيه مخالطة الأقران والمبارزة ورفع الأصوات. So all of these are inappropriate for women. Raising out the voice, speaking loudly. What is known to be sisters in the past is that whenever they speak about this, you know, it's so strange to find a woman shouting on the street. They talk calmly. So it's the attitude of the brothers. It's the attitude of the brothers to shout. So you have all of this shouting, screaming when the person meets his enemy, you know. And also Mubarak, face to face, you know. He comes, the other one comes and they come and fight each other. والاحتكاك. And they also collide with each other. You know, wrestling and all of these things that you know. So that's totally against each other. A woman in Islam. وأما جواز الجهاد لهن فلا دليل في الحديث على عدم الجواز. As for the hadith is talking about obligation, right? Yeah, it's not obligatory. It's only obligatory on the brothers. But is it permissible for them to go for it? Nabi Sallallahu Alaihi Wasallam, the hadith doesn't show that it is not permissible. In the hadith, you cannot learn anything that says they cannot do it. Prophet Sallallahu Alaihi Wasallam did not say they can't. Right? They were asking, is it wajib? He said no. The jihad is al-hajj or al-umrah. قد أردف البخاري هذا الباب بباب خروج النساء إلى الرجل وقتالهن وغير ذلك. That's why Imam Bukhari, after talking about this, he had another topic that says Bible chapter that will discuss sisters going out for jihad, you know, fighting, and also what with other fighting. Sisters going out for fighting, for jihad, and the hukum of Sharia concerning that matter. قال وأخرج مسلم من حديث أنس أن أم سليم اتخذت خنجرا يوم حنين وقالت للنبي صلى الله عليه وسلم أتخذه إن دنا مني أحد من المشركين بقرت بطنه. أم سليم the mother of Anas ibn Malik. The mother of Anas ibn Malik. She said, Anas, the son, he narrated, he said, Sulaim, his mother, she bought khindar. Khindar is a small knife, one that Yemeni usually put on their body. It's part of their culture. So she bought this one. وقالت للنبي صلى الله عليه وسلم اتخذته إن دنا مني أحد من المشركين بقرت بطنه. So that I got this, so that if in case, and this is during the Battle of Hunayn. You know Battle of Hunayn, right? Yeah, during the Battle of Hunayn, after the Prophet ﷺ left Makkah, you know, during the Fatah of Makkah, after that, he moved straight forward to Taif to meet Hawazin, right? That was the one that Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala says, وَيَوْمَ حُنَيْنٍ إِذْ أَعْجَبَتْكُمْ كَثْرَتُكُمْ فَلَمْ تُغْنِ عَنْكُمْ شَيْئًا وَضَاقَتْ عَلَيْكُمُ الْأَرْضُ بِمَا رَحُبَتْ ثُمَّ وَلَّيْتُمْ مُدْبِرِينَ. Because the believers started saying, لَنْ نُغْلَبَ مِنْ قِلَّةٍ. For the first time, the adad of the believers reached 12,000. So they started feeling that, yeah, nobody can win against us. And this is really wrong, you know, because Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala showed them from day one that al-ghalaba, victory, is not based on how many people you have in your direction. Yeah, in Badr, they were 300 against 1,000 3 times, and they won. In Uhud, they were 700. They were 1,000, and then they reduced to 700 because of Abdullah ibn Ubay ibn Salul. And who won the battle? They won the battle against 3,000, right? And Ahzab, 10,000 against the believers, around 1,005 if they even reach that amount, 10,000. And they won the battle. There was no even fight, except in a few cases. And there we go. In every battle, you see, Khaybar, also the same thing. In every battle, you see that the kuffar, there are many. But the Muslims are very little, and they will win. So this should remain in the heart. Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala says, وَمَا جَعَلَهُ اللَّهُ إِلَّا بُشْرَى لَكُمْ وَلِتَطْمَئِنَّ بِهِ قُلُوبُكُم. Why did he say that? Because he wants the believers to understand that the victory is not because the angels, it's not because of the angels participating in the battle. Because the Muslim will be, now I relax. Jibreel is there, Mikael is there, Israfil is there, Khalas. These people are going to be there. That's affect Tawheed. Although Mikael, and Jibreel, and Israfil, all of those angels, one angel is enough for the whole dunya. But Allah doesn't want them to have deficiency in their Tawheed, in the tawakkul, that Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala is the source of the victory. So he told them, وَمَا جَعَلَهُ اللَّهُ إِلَّا بُشْرًى. Why did Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala send this message to you? He wants you to be happy, to have the good news, and to relax. But it says, وَمَا النَّصْرُ إِلَّا مِنْ عِندِهِ. The victory is only from Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. If Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala wish, even with the angels, they will never. So that's the peak of Tawheed. That's the peak of Tawheed. No matter how much you think somebody can do something, you must understand that Allah is the one who is making it happen, right? خالق السبب والمسبب. Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala is sabab, and the good result that is taking place is because of the sabab. Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala is the provider. قال فهو يدل على جواز القتال وإن كان فيه ما يدل على أنها لا تقاتل إلا مدافعة. He says this shows that yes, it is okay for them to go and fight. Although if you look at the text properly, you will understand that it shows that they fight in the sense of defense, not the initial fight where they go on top. Rasulullah did not do this at all because it's too risky. Yeah, and the sisters means a lot in Islam. It means a lot in Islam. So it's too risky to risk this part of the Ummah to go for the jihad. That's why Rasulullah is not taking him, except his wives. He take one or two, whoever comes. Whoever the Quran comes out, the Prophet take them as for the Ummah Muslimin. So the Ummah Muslimin. Rasulullah is doing it as a Sharia, also teaches what to do when somebody is traveling, because most of his journeys are based on this, going for the jihad. So we have to learn this system, and also he has the protection from Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, which is extended even like to his family. Believers really don't let him fight. It does sometimes, he just ignore everyone. But usually they try their best to restrict him in one place and not to let him fight. He controls, he guides, tell them do this, do that, do this, do that. So Rasulullah was not doing, to take the sisters and go with them to the place of jihad. But he takes the old one who wants to go, because you need manpower. If people who are injured are going to be helped and aided by the other mujahideen, then they will have less people facing them. So that's why they need those old sisters for the first aid medication. Yeah, they do a really, really good job. So almost like, it's one of those sisters. So she said, "Ya Rasulullah, I have my finger with me. In case somebody come closer to me, I just pop his stomach here." So he said, we learn from this that she is having this not to attack, but to defend, right? Herself and whoever is in need of defense. What is if he had? And the same thing you say with Sophia, right? And one of the Jews, with the better for herself. The Prophet also put the sisters in one place, under the protection of Hassan and Thabit. And Hassan doesn't want to fight, a bit scared of the enemy meeting them like that. So one of the Jews came. They come closer to the tent of the believers. So she realized that this person is coming to check whether there is protection or not. So she took a huge rock and hit him on his head and let go with the sword or whatever they keep on hitting him. So she got him down and cut his head and threw it to the Jews. When they see that, they say, yeah, definitely there is a strong protection in that place. So I don't know. But she told Hassan, please go and do something. He said, هو يدل على جواز القتال وإن كان فيه ما يدل على أنها لا تقاتل إلا مدافعة وليس فيها أنها تقصد العدو إلى صفة وطلب مبارزة. We learn from it that she is facing the enemies in a way she is inviting them to come, and do this mubaraza. Mubaraza means you come, I come. Bring one from you, one from us. Let them fight and see. Usually the battles in the past used to be like that. It was start like this. Yeah. And then this is how they warm up. And the people who play games, they do that. As we have in the history as well, we are told that they warm up themselves like this. So usually Muslim war. This is also what helps the Muslims to. Because the kuffar, this deficiency is there, fear is there all the time, because they are based on the dunya. They are based on the dunya. So that's why you see them ready, if it is face to face, one-on-one. Usually that case is even Muslims. So they have to keep on coming, a lot of them. And when you are so many, it's not easy for a person to win against so many people. That's the reason why Khalid, when he realized this, he said, the best is to change our strategy. And he played that game with the kuffar doing the battle of Mota. And there were 200 of them, 200,000 of them, and he's only 3,000. So when those Qada, Abdullah ibn Rawaha, and Jafar ibn Abi Talib, and Zayd bin Haritha. All of these three were killed. And then now somebody gave the battle to Khalid. Khalid says, hey, it's inappropriate for me to beat you guys. He says, this is not the time to play a game. I took this actually, I'm looking for it. Alhamdulillah. It's not the time to joke. Just take it. So he took it. Rasulullah said, فَأَخَذْهَا سَيْفٌ مِنْ سُبِّ اللَّهِ. SubhanAllah. They really proved that he knows what to do. He changed the strategy. Maimana to the Maisara to the front, put it back, because usually they know who is here and who is fighting in direction and what is the nature of this battle. So he do this like that. Keep some Muslims behind, tell them you stay behind the mountain. After like 30 minutes, you should come and say, keep on raising up your voice, Allahu Akbar. His idea is to let the enemy think that he's getting murdered, more people are coming. And if they cannot win, against 3,000, and they are 200,000, and now the other ones are coming, what is that? I mean, they couldn't win against 3,000. Shame on them. And then now many others also are coming. And that was nothing, there was nobody who was joining. Just a war strategy. So he put it in that way. Before he said, that's why Article says, Allah A'lam, how many people they lost this war. He said, I lost 9 swords. So it's not like he raised them up and then they broke, He's hitting those criminals. I said 9 swords. So that's how he scared the kuffar. They see, first of all, those people who are in here, they see different faces. And they were the same, but they just switch. So they think that, these are different people. We're not fighting the yesterday. So they have this thought and this doubt, and then suddenly they hear the technique also coming from behind you. They saw other people coming from their houses. They understand that our assumption was correct. So that's why when Khalid managed to push them, he told the people to retreat. Because at that time he already put the fear of the Muslim army in their heart. He knows they will never, dare to follow them. That's why he managed to take the Muslim back to Medina, because he believes we need to go there. So we're very little, and there's so many. Let us just go back in a very systematic way, because if we let them follow us to Medina, it will be cut. So he scared them first in the way he knows they will never come. They will run away, and then he goes back to Medina. So these are the kuffar. Whenever they fight, they need to become so huge in order to, yeah, or else they will never do. So he says this is against the nature of women, these mubarazah and all these things. في البخاري ما يدل على أن جهادهن إذا حاضرن مواقف الجهاد سقي الماء ومداواة الجرحى ومداواة السحاب. He says in Bukhari we learn that the jihad of the sisters who went with the Prophet ﷺ is based on what? Providing water for the believers, food and water for them. ومداواة الجرحى, and those who are injured, to give them the first aid and the medicine. ومداواة السحاب. Somebody is fighting and his what do you call, sword or the arrow, get down, they bring it. Or she stayed next to one of the believers, they give him. He shoot and she is given. He's shooting at the same time. Because if he has to look and then check and see maybe it's not the correct one. But there's somebody who's doing the job for him. So with that little amount, sincerity is there, little amount of them, but they establish history. And the whole purpose of this concept and topic is what? To remove evil from the earth. That's why Rasulullah significantly managed to achieve all of his goals. So Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala to وعن عبد الله بن عمر رضي الله عنه قال جاء رجل إلى النبي صلى الله عليه وسلم يستأذن في الجهاد فقال أحي والداك قال نعم قال ففيهما فجاهد. The person came to the Prophet صلى الله عليه وسلم asking him permission to participate in jihad. So the Prophet صلى الله عليه وسلم said, أحي والداك, your parents, are they alive? قال نعم. He said yes. قال ففيهما فجاهد. He said, go and participate and perform jihad in taking care of them. That is a blessing of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala that your parent said right. For somebody who's looking for ease in life, it's ni'mah from Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala that you have to have your parent be alive. So the Prophet asked him, he says, your parent, are they still alive? He said yes. He said, go and take care of them. It's better. قال سمى إعتاب النفس في القيام في مصالح الأبوين وإتعاب النفس في القيام بمصالح الأبوين وإرغام النفس في طلب ما يرضيهما وبذل المال في قضاء حوائجهما جهادا من باب المشاركة لما استأذنه في الجهاد من باب المشاكلة. لما استأذنه في الجهاد من باب قوله تعالى وجزاء سيئة سيئة مثلها ويحتمل أن يكون مجازا لعلاقة أو ضدية لأن الجهاد فيه إنزال الضرر بالآلاء فاستؤمل في إنزال النفع بالوالدين. Basically, it's mentioned how the Prophet sallallahu alaihi wasallam, described, exhausting oneself, in supporting and helping his parent. Prophet sallallahu alaihi wasallam called it al-jihad. That's really beautiful. See yourself doing something to your parent and the parent happy. And as I always mention, it's really bring ease to the life. It's not easy, to handle those praises. It's really nice. And Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala step in and make life easy for you. The way your parents are happy, Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala is going to make you happy. So he asked the Prophet sallallahu alaihi wasallam to participate. So you see the muqabala for the parent, even jihad, the Prophet sallallahu alaihi wasallam put it in this way. قال وفي الحديث دليل على أنه يسقط فرض الجهاد مع وجود الأبوين أو أحدهما. From hadith we learn that the فريضة الحج تسقط. The obligation of Hajj will be gone if the parents are alive. But this one, ma'ada, with the exception of 3 situations. What are these situations? We remember? There are 3 situations where the parent, even if they tell a person not to go, he has to go. But other than that, it is not wajib if they are still alive until they give permission. What are those situations? Number one, when ذهب العدو البلد, when the enemy attacked the country. In this case, no permission for anyone. Everyone has to defend the country. Yeah, jihad. We're talking about circumstances where no permission from the parent is needed, is required. When the enemy attacked the country, everyone must contribute and participate in the defense. إذا دهم العدو البلد. Number 2 is when the imam selected a person and say, Abdurrahman, you go. Yeah, in this case, parent cannot stop him. Yeah, so when the name of a person comes into the list of the leader, imam said, this person is go. So that means his parent cannot tell him no. He has to, no matter what. Because the interest of Islam and the Muslims is greater than the interest of the parent. Okay. Number 3, إذا التقى الجمع. When you are in a place and you find the Muslims and the enemies, they satisfied, and you pass. They just say, okay, let me go and ask my parents first. The scholar said, no, it is haram upon you to run away. You have to continue. Yeah. When a person reached, let's say, person can't go away at the first place. He went to the place, and when he go and sees the enemy, they are so scary the way you see them. Sometimes, subhanAllah, this one, the way they describe them in history to us, they cover themselves. It's like they're inside a box. And on top of them also they have something. And they put the same thing also on their animals. Heavy metals. The way some of them there's nothing. And the way they describe them, except their eyes, you see nothing. That's why one of them said he used to say that he bought his horse, so that he can kill Rasulullah sallallahu alaihi wasallam. He wanted to kill Rasulullah sallallahu alaihi wasallam. So he came during one of the batches and was saying, where is it? The believers saw him that he covers himself, no place you can touch in him, except his eyes. Just open one eye was your eyes just. Yeah, then the believers told the Prophet, Rasulullah, please stay. Let us go. We'll go and deal with you in the way we can. Okay, he said, no. He said, Rasulullah sallallahu told them, he said, he's looking for. He said, please, Ya Rasulullah. Because they know these type of people, they need somebody young, to go and deal with them in a nice way. So they told him, Ya Rasulullah, stay. He said, no. The man wants, and I will go. So he said, Assalamu alaikum. So he said, Rasulullah sallallahu alaihi wasallam told them, please give me the room, the spear. قالوا الصحابة said فهزة تطيرنا منها. Most likely after that they changed that. He said he shook the spear in a way that when they shake something like a fan, the air that comes, they say تطيرنا منها. It's like that the air is flying with us. And subhanAllah, he said he targeted the eyes. That small. That's why somebody was right when he said Rami al-Nabawi. He shoots that. And it went. Got that eyes. Only that eyes. And that person kept on jumping, screaming. He kept on telling them, Qatalani Muhammad. They look at him, they said, no, relax, relax, you did not do anything. He said, no, if Muhammad spoke on me, I will die. You can see how much he had the fear in his heart. He said, if Muhammad spoke on me. SubhanAllah, history of those people is really interesting. I remember Talha was chasing somebody. Either Talha or one of them. He says, either Talha or Abu Dujana. This Kafir was really punishing people, you know. And he has long spear, covers himself, you know. Before you reach him, he'll catch you. SubhanAllah. One of those companions was like, I wish he was going to open this person to meet him. So suddenly this Muslim that he was pushing him. Was like, and then they met, they started fighting. So what happened? That Kafir was trying to hit him. Luckily he hit, and he hit the tufs, the shield. So his spear or sword, whatever he's holding, got stuck in it. So he couldn't remove it. And it was simple, you know. So now he doesn't have it. But now what left is how to deal with him. He is covered completely with metal, heavy metal. Even if it hit him a sword, you know, it just was metal. SubhanAllah, that Muslim kept on following him until the time he reached him. He hit him with the sword on his neck. Imagine. They have the metal on the neck, and that enemy fell down, and they found his neck was broken. You know, the hadith bent, and the neck was broken. The Muslim came after the battle. They started taking the sword. They started saying, "What kind of sword is this?" That companion got angry. He says, "Keep quiet. What kind of sword? Why didn't you let the sword go and hit you? You should say, what kind of hit is this?" They did so many, you know, so much, you know, to make sure that Islam succeeds. And that's why you can see how much evil is the Shia, those people who have nothing to do in their life except to curse those people. So he says we learn from this that it's not obligatory for a person to go for jihad if the parents are alive, as long as they don't permit him to go. He has to stay. Taking care of them is also jihad. قال لما أخرج أحمد والنسائي من طريق معاوية بن جاهمة أن أباه جاهمة جاء إلى النبي صلى الله عليه وسلم فقال يا رسول الله أردت الغزو وجئت لأستشيرك فقال هل لك من أم؟ قال نعم. قال الزمها وظاهره سواء كان الجهاد فرض عين أو فرض كفاية وسواء تضرر الأبوان بخروجه أم لا. So this person, Muawiyah ibn Jahima, he says his father went to the Prophet ﷺ and said, Ya Rasulullah, I want to participate and contribute in fighting, but I'm here to ask your advice. Should I go in jihad? If I go to the Prophet ﷺ and said, Hal laka min um? Your mother, she's still alive. Because they already have enough. You know, these type of things, when you see them being taken back by Rasulullah ﷺ, he already has enough. People want to volunteer and come. So that's why the Prophet ﷺ will ask if there's anything which has priority, we'll tell them to go with that. Yeah. Otherwise, when the need comes, Rasulullah ﷺ is looking for people to come. He will never tell them go and help and support you. So he told him, your mother, is she alive? Khalina. He said, go on, stay with her. Stay with her means take care of her. So we learn from this that whether the jihad is fardu ain or fardu kifaya, and whether the parents are going to be harmed if he goes out or not, Rasulullah also mentioned in that general form, which means it is not wajib upon him unless if the parent allow him to go. So this is the zahir, right? Is the zahir. Okay? But is it murad? Is it intended? Jumhur ulama, يقول أنه يحرم الجهاد على الولد إذا منعه الأبوان أحدهما بشرط أن يكونا مسلمين أن برهما فرض عين والجهاد فرض كفاية فإذا تعين الجهاد فلا يشترط إذنه. So the majority of the scholars said it is haram for a person to go fight as long as his parent told him not to go. If the parents are Muslim, yeah, because if they are not Muslim, when would they allow him to go? If they are Muslim and they told him not to go, then he cannot go. Because obeying the parent is wajib, fardh. Fardh, wajib ayn. Wajib ayn means an individual has to do it. A mother has 10 children. One is really obedient, and the rest are not. And we asked them, why aren't you obedient to your parents? To your mother, they said, because our brother is doing obedience. Part the kifaya, so he is doing them because she doesn't have any right upon us because one of us is doing. MashaAllah, fuqaha. So this is very wrong. It's fardh. Each and every one of them has to contribute. She does have right over all of them to obey and listen to her, unless if she asks them to go against Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. She is oppressing them. They try to stay away from oppression. Yeah, they try to stay away from oppression, not to give her chance to oppress. Because she's going to be in trouble with Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, but at the same time, Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala says, وَصَاحِبُهُمَا فِي الدُّنْيَا مَعْرُوفًا. We should be kind and good to them in the dunya. So if the jihad is fardh ayn, this is when it is fardh kifaya. But if it is fardh ayn, then the permission of the parent is not a condition. The permission of the parent is not a condition. If the jihad is fardh ayn. قال فإن قيل بر الوالدين فرض عين والجهاد عند تعينه فرض عين فهما مستويان فما وجه تقديم الجهاد. So somebody might say to you that obeying the parent is fardh ayn, and the jihad also, when it is fardh ayn, yeah, it becomes fardh ayn now. So jihad and bir al-walidain becomes equal, right? So why do you say jihad is taking? And if you look at it, say, yeah, but if you look at the maslaha al-mujtama muqaddama ala maslahat al-fard. The maslaha of the society and the community is giving preference over the maslaha of individuals. That's why if the authority needs a place and the community really needs it, can they take the property of somebody? Yes, they have to. But they have to compensate him in a way he will not get hurt. He can replace with something else. قلت لأن مصلحته أعم إذ هي لحفظ الدين والدفاع عن المسلمين فمصلحته عامة مقدمة على غيرها. He said because the maslaha of the jihad is greater. Because it's the maslaha of what? Protection of the religion and protection of the Muslimin. فمصلحته عامة مقدمة على غيرها. So this maslaha is general, which is given preference over anything else. وهو يقدم على مصلحة حفظ البدن. But the maslaha for the parent is based on حفظ البدن, right? Protection of the body. وفيه دلالة على أيضا بر الوالدين لأنه أفضل من الجهاد. And this shows that بر الوالدين is given a preference in Islam even more than the jihad. الشعب الأباء even kuffar, Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala says in jihadaka, is it وصاحبهما في الدنيا معروف. Even kuffar, Allah says you have to be kind to them if they are jihad. Being the one who is the reason why you come to this life, it's really great in the eyes of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. وأن المستشار يشير بالنصيحة المحضة. Yeah, we learn this also. We learn from this that the mustashar, yeah, he has to give advice based on what he believes to be the best, even if he doesn't practice that. Yeah, mustashar mu'tamad. You come and ask me which one is the best. I have to tell you the one which is the best. Do I do it? I might not be doing it better. I must tell you which one is the best. That's amana in Sharia. If you're mustashar, whether you're doing or you're not doing, you have to tell the person which one is correct. Yeah. Rasulullah sallallahu alaihi wasallam said, "Al-mustashar mu'taman." وأنه ينبغي له أن يستفسر من يستشير لديه على ما هو الأفضل. يستفسر الطلب يستفسر من يستشير لديه. قال كلمة مستشير. ينبغي له أن يستفسر المستشير. Indeed, yes, ينبغي له أن يستفسر من يستشير لديه. That's the shape of the So, طلب الفصل, طلب البيان. And you ask a person to explain the circumstance first. Then, if somebody asks which one is the best, so you ask, what are these things? Explain to you, then you will be able to know, this one is the best, this one is the least in terms of awlawiyya one. That you cannot know if you don't ask for bayan. Which one is the best? To follow this or to follow that? Just like when somebody asks you, I want to join the UIA or I would be an missionary, another one. You see, for instance, UIA or UTF. Which one is the best? You tell me what are there in UIA. If he comes to us, which one is the best? We tell him UIA. Why? Just go to God. We will not explain to him anything, just go. But as Mustashar, you can do that. If he is asking you for advice, you have to ask him first. What are there? If you don't know about, if he doesn't know, let's say he's outside, he has two options, either to reach you or not to reach you. He's asking. Then you look into the development and the causes and everything. Never been to UTM or USM. And USM, that's when I went to lecture a couple of times. But the one in July, you see, also works. The one I never heard. So if somebody asks, looking at if it is not like us, and he's coming from outside, for sure, is the best place for him having the international community and also in KL and closer to all the needs. So many things. And also Norma, Tabia is somehow. If you compare it with those other universities. Anyway, so what I'm trying to say is, when somebody asks you for advice, you should ask him. He brings several options, then you should ask him, to have the details about each and every one of them. Then you will be able to advise him on which one should be selected. قال ولأحمد وأبي داود من حديث أبي سعيد نحوه وزاد ارجع فاستأذنهما فإن أذن لك وإلا فذرهما. In another narration from Imam Ahmad, his Muslim and Abu Dawud, the Prophet ﷺ said to him, he says, if your parents are still alive, he said, ارجع فاستأذنهم, go back and take their permission. فإن أذن, if they permit you, you go ahead. But if they don't permit, the Prophet ﷺ said, go and take care of them. Be kind and be good to them. So then he has to take the permission from them. If the jihad is not from them, from them. Should we stop here? I guess this is the best because the next one we'll be talking about. The next one need to be connected with those that came after. Because we will talk about the permissibility and the permissibility or impermissibility of staying in the land of the non-Muslims. And also the hijrah. Is it still wajib or it is just recommended? So we stop here, inshallah. last one to put barakah in whatever has been done.
The first question is by Rizal from the question. Based on the ayah where Allah says, وَإِنْ يُرِيَ أَحَدًا مِنَ الشُّرَكَاءِ فَخَيْرٌ لَكُمْ أَن Allah and also the hadith where the Prophet says, إِذَا اسْتَأْذَنَ أَحَدُكُمْ دَاعٍ فَلْيُؤْذِنْ لِيَنْصَتْ. Can we apply this to calling someone on the phone 3 times and not disturbing him more than that?
No, the meaning is not that much apparent in the phone calls. Even if you call millions of times, it's not within the adab. It's on the adab you shouldn't, call many times, because if you call once, twice, he doesn't respond. Maybe he's in. I learned that people get annoyed. Because I will be with people and the person will tell me this person has been calling. And I ignore it. He doesn't understand that I'm busy. So, because sometimes what happens is, I will call, and Abdurrahman doesn't want to. I call, doesn't want to. I call, doesn't want to. So at last he picked up just to tell me, please, I am having a meeting. And what I need from him is not that important. But I would say, I just need from you like just a few seconds, and then that few seconds will give birth to 1 hour. And the person is trying to convince him. So that's why the next time when I call, he will not, he will not pick up. So that's why if a person rejects your call, sometimes, especially those people who a person will call and the other guy rejects. Usually in the phone, sometimes you will know that the call, it tells you the call is declined by. That means so you should understand why is he declining. No, but they will call it. Yes, you're having that's online. Using the same device, he called. Creating the shish, you decline. You call again, you decline. He calls again, he decline. He calls again, he decline. So what to do with this makhluk? But in terms of meaning, it's not equal to the house. Yeah, because the house you're coming to, the house of the person. You knock on the door, you say salam. You want to go into the privacy of somebody. It's better when he tells you no. Just leave the place, as the Prophet said. I'm sorry, it's better when you knock on the door. You take permission 3 times and nobody is responding. Just leave the place. That means he is busy. Just have good excuse for him that the man is busy. So that's inshallah.
So in case of calls also should be restricted to 2
No problem with that. But as I said, if you call once, twice, and the person is not, I really advise the person not to call again. Wait first, choose another time, then call him. Unless if it is really necessary, emergency. Yeah, if it's emergency, keep calling millions of times. Like his house, you knock, he doesn't open. He doesn't want to open. Keep on knocking. And tell him, please, it is emergency. Please come out. You really need to be out. Assalamu alaikum.
Until what age a child in their adolescence is to ask permission from the parents to do anything before deciding?
Until they die. When they reach the age of maturity, and a parent, they should be smart. They should train their children since the younger age to depend on themselves. To make them, go for making decisions by themselves unless it is very big and crucial. Since the younger age, it's very good. Yeah, because tomorrow you will drop down and die. Your child have to figure out how to do it. There are some parents I know, even their children are so big that every single thing they have to tell the parent before. This is very wrong, you know. You think this is something good and they're very obedient, no, it's wrong. It's wrong in Tarbiyah. Logically also it's wrong. You know, you are teaching your child to always be dependent. And this is wrong. Yeah, I want to marry. And at this age, or whatever age, it is not good at all not to inform my parents. Not seeking their permission, but inform them that I'm going to. I'm going to buy something in the canteen, you know. And then I call my father and go, what is this? What is this? I want to go to another state. I want to engage in a business, you know. Me and my friend, I call my parents. I have to ask their permission for me to go. It doesn't make sense at all. They have big decision in life, you know. I want to move from Malaysia to another place. I had doubt. I call my parents and I ask them, what do you think about this? Oh, son, we don't advise you. Doesn't matter, your age is million years, it doesn't matter. They will call you what? Son, this is, what are you right? Looking at this 100-year-old person, you know, and telling him, son, is it correct? Yes, it is. Because they still remember who you are. Your childhood, you know, like this, and it remains like that. And it is a reality. Yeah, you call them and ask them because this is a very big decision. Yeah. You want to change your nationality to another nationality. Yeah. It's a big decision. But you want to engage in tijara, you want to engage in business, you want to go and play, you want this person and that person. You talk to your parent concerning this matter. Well, I'm telling you, as a father, I will blame my child, you know, my son or my daughter, if they happen to ask my permission in everything. But unfortunately, in some of the families, no, it's not like that. At home, even to eat something, you know, which is for everyone, they have to ask. To touch this, they have to ask. To go to the space, they have to ask. Almost everything they must be permission. And the way the kids feel like they're in jail. So systematically is good for a person to classify and categorize his what do you call decisions and affairs, you know, according to their nature. Big matters, yes, it's inappropriate in terms of other person to do that without informing the parent. Marriage issues and other big issues that I have mentioned. Like simple matters, every single thing you touch, every single thing you do, you have to go and tell your parent that I have permission to do this. Parents shouldn't agree with this action. Because when are you going to develop mentally and be able to rely upon yourself? Tomorrow, if these parents are to die, and how does that person live his life? Yeah, last point.
It's okay, right? Just be informed that not like to ask the permission.
It's okay. Yeah, but as I said, simple things shouldn't. Because what is happening is you're opening the door for the parent also to expect you to do this every time. Yeah. And at the end of the day, you hear people complaining that my parent get involved in every single part of my life. But you never prove to them that you're mature. There are things which you will do, they can profit, and parents see it. And they know that there are big decisions in your life which they know you will never do them without letting them know. But those simple matters, these are the place where the test lies. You should be happy to see that son and daughter are able to decide, yeah, and to execute and to make a success. You know. So sometimes you fail, the parents are going to know. Either you tell them or they know by themselves. They're going to say, yeah, these are big matters next time. Share with us. Maybe we have some. Yeah. If we were there, we will never tell you this. You should do it in this way, inshallah, you succeed, because we also have experience like that. You know. So you understand, you know, what to take permission and what not. The last month I got is good.
She was rather Republic wants to add that adding on to the previous question of Sheikh said that is it required to tell someone before you visit them?
Yeah, it's good to tell them. You can visit without informing them, and then you go. But you have to adhere to all the requirements and the virtues mentioned by the Quran. When you go, salam, and take permission first. If the person doesn't permit you, then you go and don't get along. It's a problem because we always get along. I went to him, but he doesn't let me come in. What is this? I'm coming all the way from this state. He doesn't continue. Right? This person did not put you in his schedule. He has important matters in his life. And then you just come like that. And then he has to stop everything just to listen to you. And subhanAllah, especially in our time, which is peace, we have so many means of communication that you can communicate to him and tell him, I'm coming. Is it okay? Are you free if I to pay a visit to you at this moment? And to hear this, to avoid any misunderstanding in the future. So it is really, really important that not to visit a person like that, especially people with family. Somebody who is married, has children, has a family. This time is no kids. So don't just come and knock on his door without letting him know that you're on the way. They need to do that. Sometimes they don't have anything in the house. You come in, they want to welcome you properly. You come to the house, it was so embarrassing. They don't even have nothing to give. That
Right? So, is it required to pay zakah for monthly income?
No, there are conditions for the zakat mentioned by the scholars. If you meet and fulfill these conditions, then you pay the zakat. Ownership after Islam and Bulugul Maram. Your salary, if the salary reaches the Nisab, you fulfill that condition. Nisab in Malaysia, I think it's around 20,000. If your salary reaches Nisab, then you fulfill that condition. And the next condition is Hawala al-Hawl. It has to, that man that you got today must stay with you for 1 year for the zakat to become obligatory. None of this is found usually in the salary takers. That's why it's ijtihad started. Ijtihad by itself. But if you look at the conditions laid down by the fuqaha, this ijtihad cannot move. Ijtihad is wrong. Even if you charity, no problem. But it's in the name of the zakat, it has conditions. You must fulfill those conditions. And usually, the salary takers, they don't have this. And subhanAllah, we're taking zakat from them by force sometimes. And if you look at them, they are poor and needy. You know, many of them, before they have the money, they have to go and borrow money. It's supposed to be supported, and you're taking zakat. Which zakat? Zakat is to give to the poor, right? Take from the rich to the poor. And now we're taking from the poor to anything else.
When it comes to the relatives, they call and send a lot of messages, and just we block them.
No, it shouldn't. Relatives shouldn't want them. As long as they are not sending things which will destroy your family, destroying your life. Yeah. And you tell them, warn them first, remind them.
Yes. Okay. Another question. Usually people say you should visit, call, and so on with your parents and family, right? Okay, but what if I don't do that because of my situation? Because of my situation, but it's not that we have a fight and all that. I mean, like normally people like call your parents or siblings like once a week, like something like that. But if I don't do that, maybe like 2 months that only then I got.
It depends on the circumstance. Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala says, فَاتَّقُوا اللَّهَ مَا اسْتَطَعْتُمْ. Rasulullah sallallahu alayhi wa sallam said, إِذَا أَمَرْتُكُمْ بِأَمْرٍ فَأْتُوا مِنْهُ مَا اسْتَطَعْتُمْ. You fear Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala according to your ability. Because Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala says, I might not be able to judge, you might not be able to judge, but Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala knows your ability, your, what do you call it, free and circumstance. I might claim that I cannot go, but Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala knows that I can go. I might claim that I have some difficulties in going, but Allah knows I can have. So if a person fears Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, and he does what he can according to his ability. He can visit every week as the best, especially with a parent. Shouldn't cut them off as long as you can call and miss call. What excuse a person has, not to call them, unless if he is very poor and he cannot buy the credit and they're too far from him, he cannot visit them. With the parent, with the distant relatives, a person can visit them once in a month, once after every 2 months, according to his capability. But those close relatives, starting from the parent, siblings, children, and that connection should remain, not to take a long time. The tie, the connection should remain. So what I'm trying to say is, the person should look into his ability between him and Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala and do what is according to his capability. You can go every week, go every week.
If the reason is because you say you feel tired, is that a real reason or is just an excuse?
No, it depends on what kind of tiredness we're talking about. You're already exhausted, you barely move from your position. Yeah, even your parents, if I were to be in this position, I'm so exhausted. I do so many activities which movement is too risky. I started walking and sleeping on the road, alone. I know that it's too dangerous for me to drive in the middle of this exhaustion. I call my parent. I'm supposed to be with you today, and I planned for that, but unfortunately, since day before yesterday, I've been working like a machine. Only now I got rest, so I started sleeping. I tried my best to reach home, I couldn't reach home peacefully. I was sleeping in the car. So do I have permission to stay? And I come next week? For sure, all of them will say, yes, we will visit you. Just stay. This time around, we want to come and see you in the house. So there's always a way out. So a person should look into the circumstances. I can go with myself physically, go. I cannot go, please go. Call them. Send somebody to talk to them. So that's what we should do. That's why I said we fear Allah according to our capability. And grant us good and help us to be kind and good to our parent. Maybe we'll be benefited from that. Maybe Allah grant you good and help us.
Sorry, I have 2 questions. The first one is, recently we had a question where we were asking whether when a woman does khula, does she need to do rida? And you mentioned that there are 2 types of khula for women, and it depends on that. Can we understand that a bit, how it works, and what are the 2 types of khula?
You mentioned there are 2 types of khula. Khula, it's only, which is a woman is doing something to relieve herself from the husband. That's good. Once she does that, does she need to go through the process of the iddah, 3 lenses, or 3 adhar, or in this case, since we already she bought her freedom, because in the normal divorce, the connection is still there, until the time she finishes the iddah. This one, the khula, she already freed herself with that money that she has paid. So does that mean she has to go to the process, also normal process of the iddah, So many scholars said no. You have 2 different opinions. Many scholars said no. Many scholars said yes. Many scholars said no. she only needs to go for one haid. As long as she has the one haid, we know that the rahim, the womb, is free from any child inside. So in this case, she can just marry after that. So that she need to wait for 3 or only 1, which means so he just divorced her in a purity which he never approached her in that purity. And then after 1 day, she has had, but then how she becomes free for the sickness. That one is just to protect his right, just protection of his right, because there is no circumstances where he can, tell her to come back. Even if he tells her it doesn't work, because she already bought her freedom from him. As long as he accepts and he granted her the khulu, then the case is closed completely. So that's what we mentioned, Shafa. Either we go with the fasq or we go with the talaq. If you say it is talaq, then she has to go to the process. If you say it is fasq means destruction of a marriage, to separate a person with another person. That is a connection, and now you just break it. Yeah, if you go with the fasq means to destroy the marriage, to make it something that doesn't exist. If we go with this, then in this case, the scholars said she is to one period, and that's it. It's closed. She can marry someone else from that.
So, Mishu, why does she need to buy her freedom, and how does this work? The payment.
Yeah, because you see, it's very simple. Sharia did not explain to us how, but because there are things which Sharia doesn't mention, but you understand, yes, it makes sense a lot. Okay, if now the brother wants to marry, what is it necessary for him to do? The mahar. He has to pay, Islamically, he is supposed to prepare the house, he's supposed to, although some cultures, Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala guide them, the sister does almost everything, including food also sometimes she brings, the one that is enough for them for 1 year. It's just like a state. She prepared the house, she prepared the room, she prepared everything. And there we go. But in Islamically, the husband is supposed to prepare the mahar, to prepare the house. She just comes from her home to his house. She just like that, with her clothes. You get it? So he's doing all of these expenses. Why did he marry her? Because he thinks she will agree to stay with him forever, right? That's why he's married. And she also is marrying him like that. Tomorrow, if she is the cause of the divorce, if he is the cause of the divorce, Sharia said he shouldn't charge her anything. He cannot ask her for anything because he is the one who said he doesn't want to. But if she is the one who is asking for the divorce, the man already spent all of this much, to get the marriage, and he does all of these things. And now she told him, I don't want to stay with you. He lost all of his monies. So Sharia said, as far as compensation is concerned, to make it balanced, she got her freedom because she believes she cannot stay with him. She got her freedom, but return back the mahar that he paid. So that tomorrow he can use this mahar to go and marry another person. She will go home. Kareem will go to her and pay her another mahar and take her the Kareem that she wants to go with. Get it? She got somebody who will pay her another money. But this person, for him to get another person who will be honest and stay with him, gave him back his mahar only, with no extra amount. He used to give her gifts, he used to give her all of these things. It's not us, but the only one that she has to give if he asks for it is the mahar. And that's why it's always good mahar to become little. Imagine you ask for 1 million. Yeah, she never saw million in her life, and then now she wants the khula. And the husband says, my mahar. Yeah, maybe throughout her life and the life of her family, they never smelled 1 million. And he said he wants his mahar. How? That means, in Hahuna, Qailu. She's going to stay with him forever and ever. Because he says, I can't divorce her if she doesn't take the mahar. So as my mahar is supposed to be something reasonable, little. And we don't be, we have to be optimistic. Pessimism doesn't exist in Islam. We don't expect failure in marriage, but in case it fails, the way out is very simple. Yeah. In case the way out is very simple. Yeah. So that's the justification we understand, in it, which makes sense, a lot of sense. It's not that yeah, how come if he is divorcing her, then it's okay, but if she divorces him or she asks for the divorce, she can request for the divorce, then she has to pay him back the amount. This is the explanation that could be given. Otherwise, no, Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala knows. Class is fun. Allah guarantee good and Firdaus and be with you wherever you are and all of us. بارك الله فيكم. بارك الله فيكم. سبحانك اللهم وبحمدك أشهد أن لا إله إلا أنت أستغفرك وأتوب إليك. السلام عليكم ورحمة الله.